My name is RicardoBracho, and I am a playwright and a producer and an essayist. Yeah, and if we're gonna put people there, just let's not put late seating there. Right. And upcoming in Los Angeles, I have a reading of my new play called Puto, which is a sci-fi adventure through a LA 5 years in the future in a parallel reality. Puto has such varied meanings and varied ways to inflect. And I was really interested in a character who could have that many meanings to very many people. Because the way the play is set up, you see him in all these individual scenes, and there are very few other recurring characters. So that you see him in all these various, high-end environments, low-end ones, different street corners, sort of puteando, if you will. The main character of Puto is a photographer named Puto, and it's really his relationship to his city. The city has been transformed because of the finishing of the border wall and sort of heightened homeland security in this parallel world, so that neighborhoods are ethnic enclosures. I wrote this play to be set 5 years in the future in a parallel reality because I wanted it to be very, very close to what we live now. And also I didn't want to create new technology and now we have, like a Jetson bus. And I wanted to sort of not date the vernacular. And he, because of his sort of class status and sort of artistic purview, is able to travel between them. So you see him at Sunset Junction at a Homeland Security checkpoint. You see him in Santa Monica visiting another successful performance artist. You see him in Boyle Heights picking up a kid from school, in El Sereno in someone's front yard, so that you sort of really see how sort of space is negotiated in Los Angeles. Yeah. So Puto is both this historical fantasy because it's this speculative thing about a future, and it's also very much about gay desire and gay collectivity. Nearly every character, except for a young girl child named Kid, is queer in the play, and that was very intentional. I think if you took my dozen or so plays, you could easily group them into two categories, one of which would be plays about urban gay men of color that are neither comedies or tragedies, but a lot of funny and sad things happen in them. And then another grouping of plays that are about California as sort of Mexican history and as Indian land, and those are more like historical fantasies. And I guess Puto, along with maybe one other work of mine, could be classified in both. Next for me and for my play Puto is I would hope, a world premiere here in Los Angeles, because the play belongs to the city and is about the city, so I wouldn't want to do it anywhere else, although there may be interest in other cities. I'd love to world premiere it here. And so that, finding resources, writing grants, finding a theater to do it in. Although many writers feel like their writing is activism, I disagree, only because you can't be in a meeting and you can't be, marching and writing at the same time. I mean, in terms of just the time one has allotted in the day and in one's life. I do think that writing and being particularly critically involved in knowledge production really affects people's lives. So I don't necessarily feel that my engagement with language supersedes others. I just sort of have the arrogance to think that other people have to listen to my